Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a weekly news and review. Of course, we have great things going on this week. There's always great things going on, both large and small. We're going to get into all of the great stuff that's been happening this past week. Coming up. First off, a quick heads up for anybody that's looking to get this hoist. Show Z has a few things coming in, and the X Transbots Peon, the Tune version hoist is coming into stock. I'm going to be getting this myself. I'll be doing a review of it. I think it looks great. So I've already got a positive impression going into it. They're also getting the NewAge version of Soundwave in, and it's the EX version, so it's the extra painted, the ones I like. I like them with the extra paint. I'll pay the extra $3 or $4 to get the extra paint and make it look super good. So that one's coming in stock right now too. And before we get into more actual news, I do like to show off some deals. And Amazon right now has the Earthrise Skylinks on sale for like $67. I'll have a link down below for you to pick it up. So my first segment, I do like to show you the deals so you don't miss out. So last week we got to look at this Dream Star version of Superion. It looks good. It's a bit stylized, but maybe I just like it because of my love for the character, because I like Superion, because I like the team, the group, I like everything about it. This thing looks good. I don't know if I actually need another one in my collection, so I'm coming up with as many excuses not to get it as I can, but I really don't even know pricing yet. We don't know a whole lot about it. But this is a digi bash. It's a color version, and I figured I'd like to show it because when I see something like this, first off, it's a really good digi bash, and second off, it gets me more excited for it, seeing what this possibly will look like in the future. And next up, there's more pictures of good old MP52 Starscream, and I have to admit, it does look good. This is a nice looking bot. I think the biggest comment about it so far are the thin thighs, but you know, Takara works some magic. Whether you like the good or like the bad or hate the bad, they make a good looking figure. Now it might be pretty lightweight, we don't know about the transformation yet, but at the end of the day it looks good. And does it look better than Make Toys? Well, I might have to do a whole video breaking that down, and I really think I should, because we have so many good images now. With all of the images they've dropped, I think I'm in a spot now that I could do a much better comparison picture and look at all the different angles really well. Now last week I found a price for $275 on TF Source. That was actually before official pricing came out. So the official price is $265, and now it's not available on Amazon Japan yet. So it shows up as an offering, but it's from a different third-party retailer. They are the Seiya Mall Online, so that's not actually Amazon Japan. So if you order through them, you can't get it shipped to all the countries. You can't get it shipped to USA. When Amazon Japan does get it in stock, if they get it in stock, I'm starting to wonder if they will, then it'll be cheaper probably, and it will be able to ship to the US. So Flame Toys is putting out this Bug Bite of theirs, and it's going to be like $38, which is a pretty good price. It's just a repaint of what they did with their Bumblebee, but what I don't understand is why is this character out of the blue getting so much hype, so much love? I know they had made one, so it was some sort of an exclusive, and I think sold out in seconds, and I didn't even really know who Bug Bite was. I don't know the hype or why it was so exciting, why it had to sell out so fast, but the thing really did sell out quickly. But Flames Toys version, just like with their Bumblebee, it is a bit stylized. If you are in for Flames Toys, then you're probably going to be in for this figure, and I think the price is right. Now this isn't the same type as they did with, say, their Star Saber and all of the Tarn and all that kind of stuff. Those are much different, higher end figures. This is the lower end, I believe, the model kit. Okay, so the Fans Toys Thomas is shipping. It's coming in stock everywhere. People are getting them, they're arriving. But one big question everybody's asking me about this is, how do I get one? Where do I find one? If I didn't pre-order it, if I missed out on pre-orders. So I'm going to let everyone on a quick tip and secret how to get this guy possibly. So all of the vendors right now, all of them, and TF Source, Shozi, Chosen Prime, they're all filling their pre-orders right now. And I don't know if they're 100% filled on them, they're all filled out or whatever. But once all the pre-orders go out, they may have a few remaining. And what happens at that point is they put them up on their site for sale. Now, sometimes they put them up on their site and it's not $220, it's now $250 or something. But I got to tell you, you start checking every day, 3, 4, 5 times a day, whenever they put it up, it's going to sell out pretty fast. So that is one way to get this, and it's a secret, I guess you could say. I've caught a few things that way. I just was randomly looking and refreshing, and boom, it popped up for sale, and I got it. So it's purely random at this point. Past that, I think the secondary price, the secondary market, like eBay and stuff, is kind of going to go through the roof. So Super7 has this Soundwave coming out. It's a clear Soundwave, the X-ray action figure, so you can kind of see the inner workings and the insides of it, and it's got a giant 7 points of articulation to it. So it's kind of an interesting release. And I think they've already done this with like Megatron and Prime already, so here comes Soundwave. And it's kind of strange how he's clear, but not like the clear blue. I think that the other ones had, like, Prime was like clear red, wasn't he? No, Prime was clear, and Megatron was kind of a purplish one, which makes sense because of his whole transformation thing. But this Soundwave is going to be available through the Super7 website. It was originally planned as a New York Comic-Con exclusive, and you can get it for $75 if you're in for this. $75 is a lot of money for it, but it is 11 inches tall. So Dr. Wu is making a very, very small version of Galvatron and a very, very small version of Soundwave. Now, these are supposed to be scaled with the Earthrise version of Scorponok, and they're even smaller than regular Legends figures at 5 centimeters. They're really tiny. But they do transform, so that's good. And they're being sold right now as a set for $30 on ShowZ. Here is the Galvatron. He looks pretty cool. Real small. I'm wondering if it's going to be about the size of the one that comes with the Unicron, or if this is like still a whole lot bigger than the little bitty thing that we're going to get with the HasLab Unicron. But that'd be kind of cool to see the size difference in them. But for so small, $15 for this really tiny little microscopic version of Galvatron, that's kind of cool. And the Soundwave, he's really tiny, and he does transform himself. He actually turns into what else but a mini micro cassette player there. So that's pretty cool looking, and it looks good actually. For being so tiny, that's a really good looking alt mode. So we keep getting more fun pictures of this new age version of Soundwave. I like it. I think it looks good. I don't know if I'm going to like it more than Magic Square. I do know I'm going to like the paint. Their paint deco is just second to none, so I'm going to love it. I also like the fact that it comes with 3 cassettes right out the box. So it is $60, but you've got 3 cassettes with it, not just the 2. But these 3 are the 3 main ones you'd want anyway. So it's smart, and they're just kind of giving it to you and not trying to do what Magic Square did, and you turn a $50 purchase into a $80 or $90 purchase to get all the tapes that you want. I think that these 3 would satisfy most collectors, and you wouldn't need to really get 5 cassettes. You know, you're not selling you cassettes you really didn't need. I do like this little gimmick right here where it does have a light box, and you put this light box together, put it in his chest lights up. So that's cool. Here it's shown with his chest all lit up, and see, I didn't even know this was a thing until all these pictures started showing up. So that's a feature I didn't even know when I pre-ordered it. And here it is next to the NewAge reflector, and so you can kind of see size if you already have the NewAge reflector. Or there it is, looks good. So Takara Tommy Mall is putting out this Generation Select Abominus, which is a recolor, a more cartoon accurate, or maybe it's even the toy accurate version. But I think it's supposed to be the cartoon accurate version. I think it looks good. I think the feet look really, really, really small though. Like the hands look huge and the feet look small. Would have been nice if the feet were just, what, twice the size? I mean, geez. Anyway, I do like this design for a mainline figure. It does look pretty good. You know, the leg's kind of a little skinny too. But I do look forward to the KO Oversized Oimek, which is going to be finishing out pretty soon. That thing should be coming very soon. But with all that, $220 is what it's going to cost you to get it if you can order it from the Takara Tommy Mall. That's a lot of money considering this thing was already out on retail, and you could have got it for like less than $100, and the slight different variations to make it look a little bit more tuned, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth well over twice the amount. And I don't really think it's hard to get on the secondary market either, just the original Power of the Primes one that they put out here. But I do like it. I do like the Power of the Primes one, and I do like the upsized one, which I hope I like it when it's all said and done. But it looks cool, not worth the dough. We've got pictures of the Netflix War for Cybertron version of the Nemesis Prime and its in-hand and its comparisons to the sleep mode Prime. Now, so this is basically the Siege mold, and the Siege mold painted black, just kind of the usual repaint that we usually get. And it's kind of cool because it's available everywhere, or a lot of different places. Not everywhere, but a lot of different places, and it's about 60 bucks. So here's an alt mode comparison. On the left is the Cybertron Netflix one. On the right is the sleep mode one. And yeah, it's kind of strange that they just are reusing this mold over and over and over when they have a brand new Earthrise mode they can be using. But it has to do with the whole show and the Netflix show, so that's why they continue to perpetuate using this mold. But at least you get a trailer with this one, as you didn't with the sleep mode one. So that's the big difference, and that's how the price is set, and it's a lot higher, and you get a few more extra little things with this. So this is an interesting picture that I come across of the Voyager Cyclonus and the Voyager Optimus or Optimus Primal or whatever for the Kingdom. And the thing is that this is what they look like taking out of the box. So I guess this is an actual box one, and they opened it up and took it out, or maybe it's before it gets packaged, or however it's set up here. But it's an interesting picture, and I like stuff like this because it's like, man, it's just so close to coming. It's going to be here before we know it, and some of these Kingdom releases look really good, and I'm excited for them. So this is something that really took me by surprise. Now, I knew that the Conehead Seeker 2-pack, the Amazon exclusive, was going to get a little more expensive on the secondary market when it's sold out, but I could not believe these things are selling for upwards of $200 now. It's $100 per mainline figure. That is insane. And I think I got mine like a month ago, so a month later, they're actual sold items. $239. The ones that are for sale right now, people are asking $200 to $250. Well, some I guess asking $300. They can ask whatever they want, but it's crazy. And I'm starting to wonder, is this going to be one of those things like we had with Siege and with this Siege Skywarp, where that thing still commands a high price? We've got some in-hand pictures of the Generation Selects Cordon and Spinout, and I know that this set looks good. I love Lamborghinis, so it's really easy to sell me on something like this. So here we go with a whole group of the Lamborghini brothers all together. That looks great. That looks outstanding. Of course, it's again not hard to sell me on something like this. Now, the thing about this is you're looking at Siege and you're looking at sort of an Earthrise look to it, and they are different. They're different stylized, but at the end of the day, they still look good together. And here's some alt modes, matching them all up, pairing them all up. Looks like the red one there is not tabbing together as well. Actually, both of them don't look to be tabbing together as well as Sunstreaker did back there. So it looks like Toy Fair 2021 is going to happen, so we might be seeing some sort of normalization to these types of events, but anyhow, they're planning for a Toy Fair in 2021 in May. It's a trade show. It's not open to the public so much. So it's something that I still enjoy watching the videos and seeing the pictures and all the stuff that comes out of it. And I know that we have the Hasbro reps are there and stuff. So I'm wondering, is it going to be back to normal for Toy Fair by May? And if so, how would that change the release information? Is it going to make it easier to get things? Is it going to make information flow better? Who knows? I don't know. Are you liking the weekly live streams that are going on right now instead of doing these trade events? I think that a lot of this stuff causes some problems with pre-orders and not knowing exactly when they go up and then missing them. And I don't know if Toy Fair and events like that are going to fix those kind of problems. So one thing that surprised me looking at Transformer stuff, a lot of things directed me to TF Source this week. A lot of information I got out of TF Source this week. But they're carrying Gijoe Classified. And it's interesting because you can pre-order stuff like the Trooper and the Zartan and a few other things through TF Source now. And it's not just TF Source. It's almost every Transformer distributor is carrying G.I. Joe now. If they're carrying the Hasbro Earthrise, they're also carrying G.I. Joe. Which makes me start to think that they're ramping up production and all these figures are just going to be through the roof production-wise. Like Hasbro starved us in the beginning, and these are going to be coming out full force. Like you could pre-order Profit Director. If you missed it, you can still get it. So it's pretty interesting, the Red Ninja and stuff like that. Interesting how all this stuff's up for pre-order, but yet it's almost impossible to get right now. So looking at Star Wars, Hasbro did a Fan First Friday where basically they talked about the Razor Crest the whole time and where we're at with the Razor Crest and all that stuff. And looking at it, it looks pretty good. It's big. It looks really big looking at the pictures with this guy manhandling it. When you see the pictures, you see a little bit of paint. They're already starting to add some paint to the prototype. This is an actual prototype. Before, all we saw were renders, the digital renders. And so getting an actual prototype in hand, so they're moving along really quick. And hopefully we see a painted prototype like we did with the Cell Barge prior to the end of this. Now, one thing that they did do was show all of the different unlocks that we've gotten. And sadly, they didn't reveal what the next unlock's going to be, but the next unlock we get will be revealed soon. But they said that this whole escape pod would have just been molded in and not developed into a full escape pod had they not hit the minimum 8,000. And so with the 10,000 unlock, now that we've achieved that 10,000 unlock gets you the child. And the reason that this is a good thing is because he has a special molded face, a special molded hand, and the pram. Now they did say this pram is going to be vac metallized, and it will only be vac metallized for this. Now, it would be nice, I asked them, but they didn't reply, but I asked them, why can't we vac metalize the whole thing? Obviously, it's a cost situation. But wouldn't the whole Razor Crest being vac metalized, wouldn't that look awesome? But still, I'm glad they're doing it, and it's a lost art. We're not going to see it on mainline releases, so it does make this a very special release. They did proceed to show off some more features and more things that you can expect to see from it, and it looks pretty cool as a ship. And I know that I haven't shared it. Well, I have shared it. I would have liked to have seen like a Sandcrawler or a Tantive 4, but the fact that they're putting a lot of work into this, that's great. It's awesome. $350 is still the price for it, and no matter how many more add-ons or unlocks that they include, which they're working on one, which I have my own theories on what it'll be, and share your theories below. But still, it's a pretty cool project, and I still would have liked to see it as a mainline release, but everybody can get it through November 9th if you want it. So Bandai is putting out a Misho movie realization Ronin Mandalorian. So that's what this thing looks like. It's an interesting stylized version of a Mandalorian. It's going to be almost 7 inches tall. So, hey, it's cool. It's $100. And Bandai doesn't play games. Their stuff's not cheap. But usually, it's the best quality and great paint apps and all that. We'll see. So Hot Toys is making their Death Watch Mandalorian. Now this is like $265 or some crazy amount of money. You know, Hot Toys is expensive, but they look exactly right. They look exactly like the real life characters, and so that's what you pay for. You're getting in the 1/6 scale of the 12 inch, and they're big and they look good. But this looks great, and of course this is definitely the year of the Mandalorian, isn't it? So it's kind of funny because I was talking to another collector buddy of mine today, and he said he's looking for Cad Bane, and I was like, well, you missed that boat. They sold out on Hasbro Pulse. And he says, no, they're showing up in the stores now with the armor. So if you pre-order the armor, the $30 one, you could effectively pick up the armorer from the main line in the store before, the one you got on Pulse pre-ordered for $30 more, or well, $10 more, so 30 bucks. But the Cad Bane's in there. Cad Bane is a cool looking figure. He's always been a cool looking character, and that it's showing up, and that it's packed with troop builders. So no matter how you slice it, this is a good wave. I have a lot of complaints about Black Series. You're gonna get that. But I think this is a pretty solid wave at the end of the day. So we have the Gamestop Gaming Greats Scout Trooper, and it's actually starting to show up in places. I don't know how people are getting their hands on it already. I think you can still pre-order it, meaning that you shouldn't be able to have already gotten it from GameStop. But anyway, it has a few different features. You've got this electric wand, and it's got a different waist belt than the regular one. I personally love the Scout Trooper. I have quite a few of them. I got the Archive, the first run, the Archive, the one with the speeder bike and all that. But again, this is another option, and it sort of coincides. It's gaming greats, but it's gonna sort of coincide with Season 2 of The Mandalorian. We've already seen that in the trailer. So there's been a picture floating around of a Diamond Select version of Boba Fett, which might change the game, but then it might not. So here's the skinny on a Diamond Select, sort of Black Series style of Boba Fett. It's bigger than other Black Series. It's going to be a little bit over 6, like 6.5 inch, kind of 6.3 inches or something. But it's got a ton of accessories, or not so much a ton, but it's got blast effects along with the guns and all of that. So that's a good thing. But the thing about Diamond Select is they're not going to put out 20 figures a year. They might put out 2 or 3 or 4 figures a year, so there really won't be competition. But at the end of the day, it'd be nice to get your hands on one for $30 and just see, are they better than Black Series? Is Black Series better than it? Be interesting to find out. Lastly, I'd like to give everyone a heads up. These are back in stock at Amazon. This is an Amazon exclusive. It's the Forlom and Zuckuss. Now, the reason I think these aren't like selling out crazy is because they're reissues. And whenever they do these 40th anniversary card backs, they're almost always reissues. Or they are the first time on this card back, they're reissued immediately for the main line. This is the best way to collect, in my opinion, if you like original trilogy. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else is going on out there that I'm just missing? Because I'd like to know. I like to stay in the loop. Like, subscribe. Hanger out.